Well, folks, multiple stars are out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and even the San Francisco 49ers for this upcoming game in week number 6. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So, the Bucs did release their final injury report today. I know a lot of people have been covering it. There's been a lot of conversation already about it, but we're going to talk about the Bucs side first, then dive a little bit deeper into the 49ers side. So, for the Bucs, you have a lot of star players out. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, Zion McCollum, and Benjamin Morrison are all out for this upcoming game. Also, Josh Williams is out. We'll dive into that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and start off with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin here. Firstly, with Evans, look, he's still dealing with his hamstring injury. It is a little concerning that he is not even limited in practice so far to this point. A lot of people have been saying that, like, hey, he could play next week in their game, but right now I don't necessarily know how likely that is, considering he's not even practicing right now. So little concerning. With Chris Godwin, it's also really concerning, a fibula injury, and he did not practice at all this week. Now, there were a couple of updates from Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times. I don't have the tweets here, but taking a deeper look into it and paraphrasing what he had said, the fibula injury is in a different area than the fractured ankle that he had sustained last year, which does make sense. They're in different areas of the leg. Anyway, the point being is that Godwin is considered week to week right now, and at this time, there are no plans to put him on the IR, which is still concerning to me that that is still the terminology for Godwin right now. Like, hey, week to week at this time, not putting him on the IR. Look, Godwin just got back from a really bad dislocated ankle injury or fractured ankle. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a dislocation and a fracture. Anyway, last year that knocked him out for a good chunk of the season and knocked him out for the beginning of this year. Now you're telling me there's a fibula injury in there as well? Not great. But before we dive deeper into it, guys, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. Folks, if you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. That is whenever you use the code MrBucs. Also, whenever you guys sign up now, they give you $20 for free. It is as simple as that. So make sure you go download the Sleeper app today and enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That is together. Now, back to what we were talking about with this injury report. Obviously, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin not being there, you're going to see a lot of Emeka Egbuka, but that's already expected. Who else is going to step up? Well, assumedly, Sterling Shepard's your wide receiver 2 right now, and then after that, probably Tez Johnson. I mean, Ryan Miller has not been getting as much playing time as Tez Johnson lately, so that is kind of an interesting situation there. Ryan Miller is still there. They have some other guys on the practice squad, like Garrett Green is still on that practice squad, but right now, your top 3 wide receivers, it's probably going to be Emeka Egbuka, who's a rookie. It's going to be Sterling Shepard, who's still a reliable vet, and Tez Johnson, who is a rookie. So definitely the young players having to step up in the absence of the key veterans here. In the case of Bucky Irving, again, we all knew he was going to be out for this game as well. Maybe he'll be back next week. Rashad White is going to get a lot of work going forward. Now, the cornerback room is interesting. Zion McCollum and Benjamin Morrison being out. This is the second game in a row Benjamin Morrison has missed with a hamstring injury. Also, with Zion McCollum, the thumb thing, it was kind of a pain tolerance type of thing was what it was described at the beginning of the week, and it seems like McCollum cannot go. Now, I will say a positive here is that Jamel Dean is available. He was limited on Wednesday, but full go Thursday and Friday. I know a lot of people are like, not great with Jamel Dean or whatever, but I mean, he's a starting caliber cornerback at the end of the day, and given the injuries going on right now, I think we'll take that. And also, you can see a very similar scenario that the Buccaneers employed last week with their cornerback room, where Jacob Parrish, Kindle Vildor are taking turns as outside cornerback. Parrish also floating into that nickel spot as well. Now, one guy I'm going to be interested to see playing is possibly Christian Izien, because he was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but full go on Friday with a quad injury. If he can play, because he's designated as questionable right now, that's huge, because that gives you a lot of flexibility to put Izien in that nickel spot, which he was very good at in the past for the Bucs, and move Parrish to the outside throughout the entirety of the game rather than having it kind of crisscross. It does give you more depth in that cornerback room, in my opinion. You've also got Bryce Hall on the practice squad, who I keep on wanting to see him get elevated. He hasn't yet. Maybe he will this week. You've also got Demarion Williams on the practice squad as well. Finally, with Josh Williams, this is kind of interesting. So In the game versus the Seattle Seahawks, this is per Greg Allman, by the way, he was evaluated for a concussion, cleared the protocol, and returned to the game. But then Thursday, or maybe it was Friday, he had suffered like symptoms after Thursday's practice. So now he's just completely out. So I think he's in the concussion protocol. They did add Owen Wright to the practice squad. And he's probably going to get elevated this week, folks, as the team's third running back. So you're going to have Rashad White, you're going to have Sean Tucker, and then assumedly Owen Wright as your three running backs in this upcoming game. So, hey, shout out Owen Wright, baby. He's going to get some regular season action, possibly making his season debut for the Bucs. Obviously, I wish nothing but the best for Josh Williams, but hey, just saying, Owen Wright could rip some runs out there in that first preseason game, or in the preseason, so let's see what happens there. For the 49ers, they have a lot of guys that are out. Again, I know I did this last time, but let me go ahead and see if I can pull up the 49ers depth chart so we can all have a fair understanding of what is going on here. Okay, so firstly, Kevin Givens is out with a pectoral injury. He is the fifth defensive tackle on their practice squad, or on their roster. Yeah, he's the fifth defensive tackle on their practice squad. He's out. Yetur Gross-Matos is the backup defensive end to Bryce Huff and Mikael Williams. He is out as well. Ricky Pearsall, he is their number 2 wide receiver. He is officially out with a knee injury. Brock Purdy, the starting quarterback, is officially out as well. So Mac Jones will assumedly be getting the start there. Finally, in terms of wide receivers and just players that are officially out, Jordan Watkins is officially out with a calf injury. He was kind of towards the bottom of the depth chart for the San Francisco 49ers. So now he is out as well. A couple of very interesting guys that are questionable, though. Alfred Collins, defensive lineman. He is their third defensive tackle on this defense. He was limited Thursday and Friday. No participation Wednesday. He's officially questionable. Kalia Davis is one of their starters at the defensive line. He's got a hand injury. Limited Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He is questionable. Jawan Jennings, ankle and rib. No participation Wednesday, limited Thursday, limited Friday. He is also questionable. Mac Jones, the backup quarterback, limited Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He is questionable. Now, they could just be giving him some rest. It is what it is. Malik Mustafa, he was full go all 3 days, but for some reason he's still listed as questionable with a knee injury, so that's kind of interesting. He will very likely play. I think he was the 5th safety for them. He may be a starter, I don't know, but yeah, he's on that depth chart as well. Upton Stout, limited Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He is their starting nickel back. He is listed as questionable. And then finally, Kendrick Bourne's good to go. Christian McCaffrey, Thomas Morstead, CJ West, Mikael Williams, and then Trent Williams are all good to go there. So I'm going to be very curious about these questionable players because we saw a guy in Luke Gedeke, be questionable for a game, go in and play and re-aggravate his foot injury, and now he's on the IR. I'm curious if the 49ers run the risk and play these guys. Would Mac Jones leave the game because he re-aggravates his injuries? And then you have to see Adrian Martinez out there. Could Jawan Jennings reactivate his injury and re-aggravate it and possibly be out? And then you're down to Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, Sky Moore, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Again, a lot of deep threats there for the Niners. These are some legitimate questions in my opinion. So the Niners are really, really banged up, as are the Bucs, okay? These are two teams that are just absolutely hurt like nobody's business. So we'll see if they can all get a little bit healthier going forward. But let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about this. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.